Hello and welcome. In this episode, we will be talking about something that is closely related to cognitive biases, but much more widespread and much more serious than individual cognitive biases. We'll be talking about something called conspirituality, which will come to in a few moments. So, as we know, this pandemic has brought about great uncertainties for all of us. Probably something that we have never seen in our lives of anyone who's alive now. And this is also the first time that such an uncertain situation has arisen on a global scale after the emergence of internet and social media. And this combination brings us a new set of challenges which we may have to tackle sooner the better. And uh, even before the pandemic, there have been some right wing movements which had surfaced in the internet. Primarily, and which have grown out of the internet and grown into the streets. So one of such movements is called the QAnon, in which originated in the US. And for those of who do not know QAnon is a group that basically believes that the world itself is run or controlled by pedophiles who are very evil, evil pedophiles, and that they control all the government organizations and whatever we know. And they also believe that Mr. Donald Trump is a savior who has come to fight all these pedophiles. They have a lot of other weird beliefs as well. And the people who actually believe these stuff are staggeringly high. Something that we could find it difficult to digest. So the QAnon has used a number of hashtags, most prominent one being Save the Children hashtag, which they have used in their demonstrations on the streets and all, alleging that film stars and a lot of celebrities use blood of small children for their rituals and all. And the QAnon also, once the pandemic struck, QAnon has also, claimed that the COVID-19 itself is a hoax, or some of them say that, the COVID-19 affects people who are already bad or pedophiles and so on. And like many other, right-wing cults on the internet, the QAnon also uses the idea of the red pill, which will be known to people who have seen the Matrix movie franchisee. Red pill means to swallow, a pill which will reveal the real truth to you, the truth that is not known to ordinary human beings. And the people who come into these kind of groups also have that kind of a feeling of knowing something that is known to anyone else. And specifically about India, most of us may have seen the kind of conspiracy theories that were brought on the internet after the death of after the suicide of Sushant Singh Rajput, that he was also trying to control kind of a child trafficking racket which would use children for these kind of purposes, the kind that QAnon talks about. It was said that and those kind of tweets and those kind of content became viral, and many educated and well-meaning people also got into those kind of theories. Many of them believed those kind of stories. That's what conspiracy theories can do to people. And there is a slight mental health angle also to these kind of issues. It's not to suggest that everybody who is believing conspiracy theories will have a mental health problem, but there is something that is to be considered seriously. So of the 30 odd QAnon followers who were arrested after the Washington DC insurrection episode, almost 2/3 of them had some kind of a severe mental health condition which had to be treated. So there is this angle also, that people who actually believe or who are hardcore followers of these kind of cults may have mental health needs which need to be met. So that's one side. And there is a very important role played by the social media platforms such as Facebook and YouTube, which try to curate content to be shown to a user. And so these kind of platforms have sometimes, maybe knowingly or even unknowingly, promoted the spread of these kind of right-wing ideas to unsuspecting people who have this tendency of believing everything that is that appears online. So, and we know that some of these social media platforms have claimed to be fighting misinformation, but some of the evidence tells us otherwise, that this is spreading these kind of content which becomes viral, are a very basic part of their business itself. So it's very difficult for them to fight misinformation or these kind of theories altogether. Even though I personally believe, or I've seen that Twitter has done some kind of work on stopping the spread of misinformation, but not all platforms have even done at least that much. And this uncertainty that we have seen during the pandemic situation has given a great push to conspiracy theories worldwide, and there has already been a relationship, scientific evidence exists for a relationship between people believing conspiracy theories and the uncertainty that they face. So when me or you are facing certain kind of uncertainty in our life, it is during such times that we become more prone, or we become at risk of subscribing to these kind of conspiracy theories. And there is another important and alarming aspect of overlap between the belief in conspiracy theories and the kind of new age spiritual thinking that we don't usually associate with people who believe conspiracy theories. And this is what is called as the conspirituality phenomenon. So the term conspirituality was introduced by two writers, Charlotte Ward and David Voss, in a 2011 article that they wrote in the Journal of Contemporary Religion. Conspirituality talks about two different kinds of conflicting perspectives which come together mostly on the internet. So one is the new age wellness community, which is which are mostly consist of youth, people who are seen to be left leaning on according to US standards or the Western standards, and people who have a great admiration for alternative lifestyles, alternative medicines, alternative practices, people who believe in holistic ideas about life, and people who believe or subscribe to different forms of spirituality. And it is not necessary that they are all religious people. The people who may believe in spirituality which is not of a religious kind. And this is one stream of people. And then there is the another stream of people who are the typical conspiracy theorists, who are traditionally right-leaning people, who are conservative in their outlooks, traditional and conservative, and most of them could be males of all age groups. So these two groups don't have much in common. But in conspirituality, we see that these two kinds of people are brought together with some common beliefs about the world, and that is what is seen to be a dangerous phenomenon. And the ideas that bring these people together is a belief in the existence of secret groups like the modern medicine mafia, or the pharmacology mafia, or the pharmacy industry, or any kind of or the kind of theories that we hear about Microsoft and Bill Gates being injecting people with vaccines that that reduce the reproduction capacity of people. So these kind of belief in secret groups or secret agents is one thing that brings them together. And then there is this shared idea of a great shift that is happening in humanity's understanding of life itself. They believe that, both of these groups believe that there is some kind of a great change happening in the world in terms of how we see the world, and they think that they are also part of this great change. And the wellness industry is a very big industry, and the global size of the wellness industry is somewhere around 4.5 or to 5 trillion US dollars. And the wellness industry has a number of components, including yoga and the Chinese medicine, or the many kinds of alternative medicine practices and complementary medicine and all these things, and all those organic, highly priced organic beauty products and other organic stuff. All these become are part of this this wellness economy. And recent times, especially after the first wave of the global pandemic, it has been seen that conspirituality is on the rise, and conspirituality has in fact spread in a large portion of the wellness industry, or people who are part of the wellness industry, people who are not traditionally prone to believing or spreading conspiracy theories or misinformation. So these kind of ideas have infiltrated to their minds also, and some of these are coming out from the social media onto real life, onto our families, our social circles, our workplaces, and so on. And people who are prone to conspirituality or the conspiracy theories, they may think of themselves as being more enlightened than the mainstream society, or the people who are around them. And they also think that they are being persecuted or they are being targeted because they know these hidden truths about the global mafias, or Illuminati, or whatever they believe in. For example, if you belong to India, we see that many anti-science propaganda people claim to be victimized by the modern medicine mafia or the science mafia, or those kind of mafias around them. And some of them may actually believe that they are being hounded because they are because they knew, or because they have uncovered these big truths about all those mafias. So this is what I had to say about conspirituality. And it is pretty much obvious that there are a number of cognitive biases that can lead to us believing in these kind of conspirituality ideas. Cognitive biases such as the Dunning-Kruger effect or the confirmation bias, all these can have a role in making us more vulnerable to conspirituality or conspiracy theories. And what we can do is to stay alert, practice fact-checking, do not believing anything that comes through the social media to us, and being aware of cognitive biases that can have an influence on our thinking process can also be something that we can practice. And probably the most important thing could be to practice responsible social media usage, I believe. So not treating social media as our sole or our primary source of information or news is something that we can do to ourselves, something that we can do to keep ourselves safe from this global wave of conspirituality and conspiracy theories that can have a very devastating effect on our own well-being and our own decisions and thought processes. So that's what we had to discuss about conspirituality and the uncertain times that we are in. Thanks for listening.